create bids and strategic plans and as many launches as you could shake a stick at. Well, today there was another one. It was the launch of the SSE Airtricity Leagues, the Premier and First Division for the men, and the Women's National League as well. We were joined by Mark Scanlon, he's the League Director at the FAI, to talk about some of the things which he's looking forward to most, about the return of fans to grounds and about the return of LOI TV, where you can stream all of the games for the rest of this season as well.
As you said, going into the opening games of the season, to have full attendances back and to have fans in the stadium, something we're really looking forward to. And I think what's been really positive for us this year is the record number of season ticket sales across a vast number of clubs. Seeing queues outside the stadiums of people queuing up to purchase season tickets, and the general buzz and anticipation that there is ahead of the season, I think is something that we haven't seen in recent years. So it's something we're really looking forward to.
Was there a fear that people might have actually fallen out of the habit of going to see live matches, and a little bit of concern still about going back into a crowded space? Obviously not from the fans' point of view, but is that something that surprised the clubs?
Yeah, I think that was a general concern across sport, really, that people sort of had that narrative that might be a possibility. But certainly from a League of Ireland perspective, we haven't seen that. We've seen the crowds returning in their droves last year as soon as they were allowed, and when the attendances were up from smaller numbers to larger numbers, clubs were selling out stadiums. And when it came towards the end of the season that full attendances were allowed, what we saw was a massive increase in the attendances, and also in particular the number of families and that were attending games, the number of young kids that were attending games. So that's something that was really positive, and that culminated in the attendance that was there for the Extra.ie FAI Cup final at the end of the season, with over 37,000 people in attendance to watch Bohemians and St Patrick's Athletic in that game. So that's something we want to build on for this year, and we see an appetite for live football that's there, and we want to make sure that continues to grow.
There was a fantastic atmosphere in the Aviva that day, and I can remember thinking at the time, if only we could recreate 10% of that at each of the league matches. But there's a sense after the last 2 years that people are ready for that they're ready to get excited, that they're ready to get out there, increased number of season tickets and all of the rest of it. Is there anything which you're particularly looking forward to now that we are going to get to see again that we have missed out on for the last 2 years?
I think just that general atmosphere that we've seen at the grounds, and certainly that was something I was lucky enough to be able to attend a large number of games when there wasn't any fans there, and it was great to have football back, and we really need to make sure we finish the season. But that general atmosphere and that buzz around the grounds was something that can't be replicated when games are behind closed doors, and so that's something that we're definitely looking forward to this year. As I said, the numbers of season ticket sales have been hugely encouraging, so seeing some sold out signs at grounds this year will be fantastic. Obviously that leads us to the next aspect of making sure we continue to build and improve the facilities that are there, but having them sold out signs and having full attendances and having people clambering towards getting tickets early to make sure that they're there for the matches is something we look forward to.
Is there a concern at all in relation to the facilities that we've got an exciting product now, we've got exciting games going place on the pitches? Some of the grounds, though, they might still not be quite what people have grown used to. Is there a danger that we might have sort of reached a peak level of interest slightly before the grounds are quite ready?
I think, look, we want to continue to improve every aspect of the League of Ireland on and off the pitch, and facilities, as you would have seen this week in our strategy launch, is obviously a core pillar around that whole area of infrastructure, and also specifically within the League of Ireland as well. So it's something that we'll continue to grow and develop, and we want to work with the clubs, and we want to work with all partners, local and central government, for increased investment and development of our facilities over the coming years, over the lifespan of this strategy and beyond. But it's not something that's going to be fixed overnight, but I do think clubs have made huge strides in their own plans and development for both their stadia and also their training facilities. So I think everybody is focused on improving that over the next couple of years. But in the meantime, we want to make sure that the stadiums that we do have are family friendly and they're welcoming experience for people that come on a Friday night or a Saturday to watch games.
We've got the Women's National League as well kicking off at the same time, week after the men's divisions. The strategic document as well is looking towards expansion. It's looking towards a second division in the Women's National League and a third in the men's side of it, a little bit sooner for the men's. What's the appetite like amongst the clubs that are just below that level at the moment? Is this driven by something that the clubs are actually clamouring for, that they want to be part of the league?
Yeah, I think, look, I mean, the first important thing you'll see within the strategy is the integration that we have across men's and women's football, and we've seen that in what we've developed in the League of Ireland structures over the last 18 months or so, where we obviously have the likes of SSE Airtricity here today as our title sponsors across all the divisions, and what we're ensuring that we do is make sure that there's parity across the board between men's and women's football. So the key next step is obviously to continue to grow what we have. This year in the Women's National League, we've added a 10 team in Sligo Rovers. There's been a real brilliant buzz in the Northwest about Sligo's involvement in the league this year, and we've seen a lot of positivity towards that. But below that, we are growing the structures in the underage national leagues as well, and with the help of EA Sports as sponsors there, it's really helped us develop them leagues last year. And there's a number of other League of Ireland clubs and other entities that are playing in the underage national leagues, and they have aspirations of playing women's national league level as well. So that's why you'll see, as part of the strategy, obviously we do want to introduce that second tier and grow women's football, and have that pyramid structure there for people to be able to build up and get to play at the highest level that's possible, which is at the minute obviously the Women's National League. Likewise on the men's side, the third tier that you mentioned, we want to have that different aspect. So again, every club across the country has that opportunity to work up through a pyramid system to build into the National League, and that's something we want to see realised across this strategy in the next 4 years.
We obviously want to see more people back in the grounds, but the Women's National League fixtures are all free on LOI TV again, same as they were last year. The sort of the reasoning behind creating the streaming package was as a way of allowing people to actually get to see the teams when they weren't allowed into the stadiums. But now that they can, obviously LOI TV is something which is a long-term play, so it's back again. There's no season ticket for it this year. What's the rationale behind that?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, League of Ireland TV was really important for the brand development of the League of Ireland as well. We're delighted with how it worked out last year, and how the clubs really got involved and embraced the product itself. It was really positive to see their own developments, and they really stepped up to the mark in terms of the production of games, the commentators, the co-commentators, and lots of new people who got involved in that aspect to be able to deliver that for the fans while there were locked out stadiums as it was at the time. And as you said, now with fans back in stadiums, it's important for us to get that balance right between making sure first and foremost we encourage people to buy season tickets and come to games physically, and then after that, for those who aren't able to make the games, I think we're providing a unique product across European football, and the fact that all our games are still able to view live domestically. I think that's something that's done in many jurisdictions. So that's something that we continue to have, but obviously by having a season pass in place, may potentially discourage away from season ticket sales for clubs, or for people who on an ad hoc basis on a Friday night might want to go to a game, and if the season pass, maybe the easier option is to sit at home. So first and foremost, we want people at the games, but for those who can't attend, there'll always be the option to watch and purchase the games on LOI TV, and again, that's really important for our overseas fan base. And something that they've had the opportunity. I spoke to many fans who are based overseas who were delighted with having a product that they can view their team, and previously they might have only got to see their team once or twice a year when they were home to view them, or for an odd game that was live and available worldwide. But now they've the opportunity on a weekly basis to be able to tune in and watch their team. So look, I think it's here to stay with LOI TV. We've been consistent with that and saying that we want to have that product there, and we want to continue to develop the brand, and it's been hugely successful, and particularly for the Women's National League, as you mentioned, with that free service that's there, it's helped us really showcase the talent that we have available in the Women's National League, and that culminated in a fantastic end to the season last year, a really exciting title run in that was covered on both LOI TV and TG Car.
It all kicks off on the 18th of February. Get thee to a game, as they say. But for the moment anyway, Mark Scanlon, League Director at the FAI, thanks very much for taking the time.